All right, so week 8 of WGU accounting degree. Last week I had mentioned I started C723, the quantitative business analysis or analysis for business, and then D081, so the innovative thinking. So those are done. So I finished those. Both of those were just tasks, so I just had to written task, and so I got them both back. I think it was like Tuesday, Wednesday. It's pretty early. I felt faster than the other task I've submitted before. So I got those. They were complete. They passed. Let me make sure I didn't have anything else new to share with those. I think I shared most of that from last week already. So let's see. Yeah, nothing. Oh, 1 second. Oh, never mind. So the uh, D081, that one was a task. Quantitative analysis, it was an exam. So I recorded last week's video on Sunday. Monday, I took the exam, and I would say that yes, the practice test was very similar to the real exam. So it felt very similar. Yeah, very, very similar. So how you do on the practice is pretty close to how you do on the real exam. So I remember I took the practice, reviewed what I got wrong, and then felt pretty confident going into the actual exam on Monday. And again, had a really great experience, or not really great, but I didn't have a terrible experience. So it just went smoothly exam testing. So maybe Mondays are a pretty good day for proctor testing. So now this week I've started, let's see, I've started D076, so finance skills for managers. And then the other course was, let's see, what is it? D078, business environment applications 1, business structures and legal environment. So I'll start with this one actually. So the D078, that one was a task. So as soon as you go into the course page, you see that, oh, there's going to be 2 tasks. So I, of course, went straight to the task instructions to see what I would needed to do. And this time the tasks were pretty fun, I would say. Let me see if I wrote any specific thoughts down. But the textbook for this course was another one that I wrote down. The book pains my brain. It's like the word version of people using too many words to make a point. And if you go to the course resources, there is a doc, and it lists all the videos, and it lists all the videos discussing the main points that you need for one of the tasks. So what I did, I just watched the videos and ignored the textbook basically, except for a couple things I had to go in and look up some term definitions, but basically ignore the textbook, watch the videos. Videos are way better and more helpful. Let's see. And yeah, so I did start the task. So today's Sunday. Yesterday on Saturday, I started early working on the tasks. I talked about my process for writing in last week's video, but basically just sort of dumped all the framework basically of what I'm gonna say, like a very, very rough draft to answer each task, and then went through my rounds of editing until it was finally ready and I submitted it. So I'm waiting to see the results back and if I need to revise anything and submit it again. So hopefully not, but I know that's possible. And then while I'm waiting for that course, so that was yesterday, and also yesterday after I finished submitting tasks, they went faster because it was so much more fun. And then I started this next course, which is the finance skills for managers. And so this course is also pretty interesting, just because it's kind of going more into accounting is more like looking backwards, recording what happened. Finance, you're more like looking forward and looking into the future, which is always more fun. And like I mentioned before, I like the concept of strategy, which is looking into the future, trying to plan ahead. And so it kind of goes along with finance. But I would say I'm reading this a little bit slower just because I'm reacting so much to the textbook, which is way more interesting to read, by the way. It's better written, and the concepts are more interesting. So, but I'm also reacting to it. So I actually this time, instead of writing a list of things, I'm just recording voice memos because I keep stopping reading to share like what I like my reactions to the text, and so I just decided to just do voice memos. It's a lot faster, and then later on I can go back and I guess transcribe them if I want and make like a written version. But yeah, so but basically I would say I've read 2 units so far, technically 3, but the first one's like an intro, so it's on how to use the textbook and how to use the Excel for the practice, so I don't really count it. And I have, I think, about 5 units to go, so maybe like a quarter through. We'll see. I'm getting through it, but also it's like some new, some old with more info, and so I want to read carefully through it and make sure I absorb it. And so I've done a few like Google, not quite side quests, but maybe the text mentioned something and I want to go look up more about it, or the text mentioned something makes me think of something else, so I go look up about that. That's kind of how I learn, like linking what I already know to new stuff to like more interesting stuff, which helps the old new stuff stick better. So yeah, so basically, hopefully today I can finish reading. That would be the ideal thing, finish reading. And then tomorrow I can take the practice test. And then hopefully, like again, ideally I would take the real test tomorrow, but I don't want to rush it. So if not tomorrow, then either sometime this week or just Saturday, we'll see. And then I can get started on the next course. Once I feel like I'm ready for the final test, then I'll just get that next one set up. Yeah, and so going forward, if I can do 1 class per week, that would still keep me on track. Plus, if all of these classes have more info that I need to absorb, like it's more in-depth information, then that'll actually be good. Like if I can just do 1 class per week, so I can have like more time to dedicate to each one. But yeah, so that's it for this week. And also someone asked to see like my exam setup, so I'll try to get like a, I don't know, quick video of that. Maybe probably after I take an exam this week. All right, so this is my testing setup. So pretty basic. I take this table and kind of like a fold-up table. So I set it against the wall here in this little corner. That's like the best place I found. So I can set up the camera, which you can see here. This is the green tape. So I like to mark where to put the camera because setting it up feels like it takes me a long time every time. Because they want to be, so first of all, you have to have the camera in front of your face. And then at a certain point, when you're going to actually take the exam and start it, then you have to move it so they can see you and your camera, and your laptop, keyboard, mouse, testing materials. So for me, it's actually easier for me to sit here and then have my camera like facing my left side. Because when it's facing the right, it's just harder to get the right angle. So this is like my camera, my webcam. It's old and cheap, so it doesn't always take the best video. So they always have trouble seeing like my ID when I hold it up. And then here's just my laptop, keyboard, and mouse, and my testing materials and my dirty whiteboard. But yeah, that's kind of it. I'll kind of, I guess, just walk. You can see that from the front. So again, that is just a really basic setup in this side of the room. Behind me is just like a cluttered counter. And yeah, and right before I test, I just take everything off the table, make sure it's really clear. That's why the counter is cluttered behind me, because I just like take everything off. That way there's nothing for them to like pause, so I can clean off the table again. But so yeah, that's kind of it. Yeah.